So I'm down in the Redwoods. This is my second time down here. I came down here once last year this time, and I was so overwhelmed my first time down here with the size of the trees. It was mind-boggling. I mean, they truly are incredible, Sequoia sempervirens, amazing trees. But this time around, it's a little bit nicer because I'm a bit more grounded, I'm a bit more calm, and I'm able to appreciate all of the other diversity we have here, specifically that amongst the forest floor. Everything from evergreen huckleberry, vaccinium ovatum, to hemlocks, to tan oak, all sorts of ferns, deer fern, sword fern, lady fern, all the different stuff. And it's really nice being able to kind of appreciate this in a new lens. I've got all sorts of western hemlocks coming up in the understory here. Even saw some cedars earlier, some azalea. It's absolutely beautiful. Love it. So this lichen right here, this is a bone lichen, hypogymnia. Let's see if my phone will focus on it. Come on, I thought you were a smartphone. Anyway, hypogymnia, bone lichen. One of the easiest ways to remember that name, if you're a surfer, you might be familiar with the Hypto-Crypto, a board by Hayden Shapes that was really popular about 10 years ago. Really classic, kind of a, really, I don't know, I always thought it had kind of a puffy look to it, but one of the main kind of characteristics was that it was a white board with really black rails around the outside. So when you first saw it, you're like, what the heck kind of board is that? The Hypto-Crypto. Well, hypogymnia kind of sounds like that, and it's similar in that it has kind of this puffy look to it, whitish light green on the inside with black rails surrounding it. So if you're a surfer, that's how you remember the genus name for hypogymnia. Pretty neat, hey? Just while I'm raving about the diversity of these places, let's have a look. We've got some deer fern, just to show you guys what I'm talking about here. That little leaf here, right there, that's Myanthemum, false lily of the valley. Some more of that evergreen huckleberry, Vaccinium ovatum. Gosh, it's beautiful. And then one of my favorites here, we've got a mock azalea, false azalea. So incredibly beautiful. Love these things. Oh, and then of course they've got a bunch of redwood sorrel, which is this stuff here on the forest floor here. Kind of looks like clovers. Really beautiful understory covering there. Just gorgeous. Ooh, just another look at these beautiful tan oaks. Just these awesome little trees here in the understory. Really cool kind of bluish green hue to their leaves on the tops of the leaves. You can kind of see that there. And we've got this fallen log here, which has all sorts of cool diversity on it. We've got some Polypodium glycorrhizae there, some licorice fern, beautiful ferns. More deer fern, sword fern. There's some shield fern over there, or sorry, not shield fern, what am I saying? Spiny wood fern, criminy. And then we've got all sorts of different mosses here, mostly Convergia. It looks like I did see some Hylocomium earlier, just tons of diversity. And again, that redwood sorrel everywhere, so beautiful. Whew, it would not be a day in the Pacific Northwest without acknowledging the beautiful, gorgeous Gaultheria chalon here. Salal, absolutely beautiful, as well as this lady fern we've got here. We've got some lady fern. You can see the fronds are starting to die out. It is an annual plant, but really cool, kind of diamond shaped fronds. They're very delicate, very lacy, very lady-like. If I'm going to objectify this plant, don't blame me. It was whoever named it. We live in a patriarchy, it sucks. But anyway, yeah, beautiful plants. All right, let's get down with some epiphytes. We've got plants growing on plants here. So first of all, I got to kick it off with this one here, leathery polypody, a cousin of the licorice fern, Polypodium fern. Really gorgeous. We got a couple growing in here. Very cool, very leathery coastal plant. We've also got a western hemlock here taking root in this big old coast redwood here, Sequoia sempervirens. And then we've got all the finer stuff here. So if we look close, we've got a bunch of dicranum here, this horsehair moss. Really cool, really soft, really kind of fluffy. And then we've got all sorts of different cladonia flakes. Cladonia all over here, so many different species. I can't tell them apart because I need a microscope. And then we've got, some toy soldier cladonia here with a little red cap. Really cool. Really cool to see all this epiphytical diversity on this redwood. What a friggin' beauty, am I right? Oh! Evergreen huckleberry growing on there too. Again, Vaccinium ovatum, just so classic. Some salal. Oh, I can't stop pulling stuff. Beautiful little creek here, and oh, would you cuss me up? Look at this. Anybody that knows me knows that my all-time favorite fern right here, western maidenhair fern, Adiantum eluticum, so friggin' gorgeous. They too are a deciduous, kind of an annual plant, so they aren't as vibrant looking right now as they normally are, but love these really wet coastal environments. Just so friggin' gorgeous. You can see the color fading on them as they start to kind of wither away for this season, but they will be growing back next year. Not all is lost, good things still exist in this world, despite how crazy it is. Yeah, anyway, God, some beautiful trees here. Have I mentioned that there are some beautiful trees here? Beautiful plants, beautiful trees, beautiful things growing. Look at all this life, life on life on life. Absolutely beautiful to be surrounded by all these amazing non-human people. Some of my favorites, some of the best. God, what a beauty. Just taking a moment here, admiring these beautiful trees and spying some more of that leathery polypody up there. Pretty cool, nestled in that little cluster of dicranum. And you know, the azalea cannot be overstated how absolutely gorgeous azalea is. And then I got this guy over here, which I initially thought was a red huckleberry, Vaccinium parvifolium. Remember that because parva kind of sounds like party, and red, they pop, you know, it looks like little party balls. Anyway, parvifolium. But I think that might be Vaccinium ovifolium, or an oval leaf blueberry, because the leaves are significantly bigger than a red leaf or red huckleberry, and they still have their leaves. And most of the red huckleberries around here seem to have dropped their leaves already. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. But hey, there's a salmonberry. That's cool too. All right, dude, we gotta have a talk about evergreen huckleberry. Look at that thing. Like, we have these up on Vancouver Island on the coast, but like very rarely do you see them get overhead. These things are freaking double overhead, barreled by evergreen huckleberry this whole way on the path. So sick. Whew, one of the most gorgeous plants in these ecosystems right here. Oh my God, could it possibly be a Pacific rhododendron? Oh, beautiful flowers in the spring. Currently lacking because it's fall. But my God, that is a beautiful specimen. Oh, more of these Pacific rhodos. Check out all these babies here on the forest floor. Just little ones coming up here. Had a bit of a recent disturbance event. You can see we've got all this windfall here. These little baby rhodos are taking advantage of that new light coming down through the canopy. Not all of them will survive, but they're friggin' beautiful as they're giving it a go, huh? Look, more up here too. So cool. Oh, hi. All right, let's get small here for a second. So this is that Redwood sorrel, really beautiful, 3 leaves, and then the undersides, this beautiful violet purple. Speaking of violet, this is redwood violet. These little circular ones have really beautiful yellow flowers in the spring. We've also got some very tiny, some baby Hooker's fairy bells is what this one is. Kind of looks like a twisty stalk. And then, of course, we've got more huckleberry, evergreen huckleberry, little babies coming in. My absolute favorites, just so friggin' adorable. Oh, a little baby redwood sorrel too. Oh my God, how friggin' cute is that? Got a couple really cool trees here, but if we look closely, it's actually all the same tree. See, this center part here was the old original part of the tree. Some sort of disturbance event came through. It looks like fire, so fire may have killed that, but then the roots were still alive, so they sent up new leaders surrounding it, a form of vegetative regeneration. This is colloquially known as like a fairy ring. It's when the trees will grow in a ring around the stump of the old original tree. So these trees are all actually just the same tree, a reiteration of this original tree. Just a crazy example of life finding a way to keep on keeping on. How beautiful is that? So coast redwoods, or Sequoia sempervirens, are really unique in that they're able to conduct folial uptake. So they have 2 different kinds of leaves. Their kind of understory leaves look like this, really flat splaying, loaded with chlorophyll on the tops, which allows them to photosynthesize in these really dense forested areas, get as much light as they can. And then on the underside, you'll see they have these 2 white rows of stomata, which is basically little pores that allows them to breathe. So they will release oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis here. And this allows them to kind of, again, survive in these dense forested environments. But way up there in the canopy, where there's a lot of distance between their roots drawing up moisture, and way up there they will have a different kind of leaf, like this one here, which fell down from the canopy. And if you look, the fresh shoots kind of on the tips here, they're really white because they're covered on all sides by those stomata, which allows them to breathe. Essentially, when there's coastal fog or evaporation, they'll be able to uptake that water directly through those leaves to photosynthesize in the branches without having to rely on drawing water up way up there into the canopy. Pretty neat. So I'm right by this road, and this smaller redwood here was hit by a car at one point. And you can see this bit here, all these little things, these are little root shoots that it's trying to send out. So it's able to conduct folial uptake up there. It's getting the water it needs to continue photosynthesizing. And this is just a repair mode that it's kind of going into, trying to get these root nodules to find the soil eventually to continue kind of covering this wound. Yeah, creating more bark, more phloem, and more that vascular tissue that's going to allow it to continue to thrive. But pretty cool to see those little weird looking root tips kind of forming. It's also cool to note, you can see it kind of forming a bit of a burrow here as it takes that kind of pent up energy and is kind of trying to direct it down, trying to, again, reestablish that connection with the roots in the soil. Pretty neat.